Óigame, señor, tantas personas que han salido a platicar, a confesar sobre lo que ellos han visto. No, esa no es la verdad. Mire, si yo me pusiera a preguntarle a México que me ayudara con mi campaña, me metían a la cárcel. Si yo empiezo a tener eventos en hoteles que yo soy dueño, también me metieran a cárcel. Entonces, este presidente, digo, no nomás hace eso, pide la ayuda de China y de otros países. Digo, es una cosa ya ridícula, es un escándalo. Y lo que queremos es saber la verdad. Y si el presidente de veras cree que él es inocente, pues que no le tenga miedo a la verdad. Y vamos a saber qué es esa verdad.
Breaking news overnight. Can you believe shots rang out at a Halloween party where people were dressed in costumes? Now, the 3 people were killed. 9 others were injured. Happened overnight in Long Beach, California. Paramedics could be seen treating people in the yard before getting them off to the hospitals. It appears that a shooting took place outside, says affiliate KBC. Many shell casings were seen in the alley behind the home, and there's still no description of a suspect or a motive.
The face of America's white power movement is screaming young white men.
One people, one nation!
But there are a very small number of women who join. Samantha was one of them.
This I wore to the last alt-right party that I ever went to.
The 29-year-old tells new friends she spent a year in a cult of racism. After she left, she feared being exposed for what she'd done. Now she wants to come forward on her own terms and warn others about the power of online radicalization. She welcomes us into her home. We agreed not to show its surroundings or share her last name due to safety concerns.
How important do you think that sense of alienation is in attracting people?
100%. I think alienation is like the #1 reason that people join. I was seeing this guy and I was going through a lot of turbulent, like emotional and just personal mental things where my sense of self was pretty damaged. It was just this immersion into the culture of it with someone that I so badly wanted the affection of and the approval of. Just, it didn't take much. It's not as if this person was like strapping me down. Like, I was hungry to learn. I was hungry to figure this out.
On January 1st, 2017, you became a member of Identity Europa. Can you explain what that is?
It was a white civil rights group, or a white advocacy group, I believe was the term. Identity Europa was trying to project this image of being, clean-cut, law-abiding, non-racial slur-using, polite, kind, handing out water bottles to old ladies on the street, just like a nice group of people.
They didn't want to look like the skinheads.
No, absolutely not. The language that was used was always pro-white. It was never anti-anything else. And so it made it really easy to ignore the parts that you don't want to see.
Like violence.
Yeah, violence or just blatant racism.
Today known as the American Identity Movement, Identity Europa was created in 2016 as a kind of fraternity to promote white power with a more clean-cut face.
It's all very old, very antiquated ideology, just packaged in khakis and loafers.
The alt-right is far more hostile to women than previous iterations of the white supremacist movement. It emerged from an internet culture that cross-pollinated with men's rights and incel forums, an online subculture of men who are involuntarily celibate and blame women for it. Samantha says there were only a handful of women in IE when she joined. She kept her day job as a manager at a cocktail bar, even as she interviewed up to 20 people a week to be new members of IE.
I wasn't the only interviewer.
Part of her job was to screen out Jews. She was named women's coordinator, and she says she helped membership grow to about 50 women in a group of roughly 1,000 people.
And why'd you do it so much?
Because it felt good to help. It felt good to be productive and to feel like I was a part of something bigger than myself.
Samantha's rise in the alt-right paralleled the rise of the alt-right in America.
You will not replace us!
In the spring of 2017, members of the movement were feeling emboldened.
I will faithfully execute.
Donald Trump had been sworn into office. Steve Bannon was a White House aide.
You will not replace us!
And protests, like this one referred to as Charlottesville 1.0,
Russia is our friend!
which Samantha helped coordinate, were popping up across the country. Then she started a new relationship with a rising leader within Identity Europa and was welcomed into the movement's inner circle.
We took a weekend and went to a bunch of parties in New York.
What kind of parties?
Nazi parties.
And this is the type of awful tool.
I went to a book burning. That was pretty scandalous. It's all so surreal. Like, you're literally standing there going, I'm at a book burning in someone's house. Like, there are families that live next door. There's probably a nice person who lives across the street, and I'm burning books about Jewish people. Like, it was just so, I don't know, it just feels wild. Like, it doesn't even feel like it's wrong or right. It just feels unreal.
Did you guys present yourselves as like a white power couple?
Yeah, kind of. I think that's how people looked at us, that we would be like the next generation of, a power couple within the white movement.
So in public you were a couple, but behind the scenes?
The misery was growing exponentially, like every day. I had tried to break up with him several times. I had told him I couldn't do it anymore. I tried to do all of these things, but I was so afraid.
A meme among the internet Nazis was white Sharia. It's a racist interpretation of Islam that portrays women as subhuman.
As a woman, you are a secretary, mother, babysitter, but never an equal.
Private messages to Samantha show that, while the women might have played along in public, in private they found it disturbing. But at the same time, Samantha says, they felt trapped, afraid that they'd be doxxed. That means your identity and personal information is released online. Samantha says she and her boyfriend broke up privately, but he wouldn't move out. There were shouting matches, financial struggles. She realized the only way to leave the relationship was to also leave the movement. The reaction was more degradation.
I was told a lot that I would be really good, that I could probably hold a lot of Nazi semen and birth a lot of Nazi babies, whether I liked it or not, that they would break my legs so that I couldn't run away, and then I would just be killed afterwards.
The threats scared her, but they were clarifying. In October 2017, she quit IE. She eventually stopped making excuses and realized she'd actively promoted racism.
All of the weird propaganda that I was buying into, all of the ideology and the rhetoric, it just immediately hit me that it was all bull. It just all hit me how much of an idiot I was.
The American Identity Movement tells CNN it is unaware of anyone being coerced to stay in the organization. Today, Samantha has joined a different kind of organization, one that helps people leave hate groups. She hopes coming forward with her story can make a difference.
For a lot of people, I don't think it's about the politics. I don't think anyone wakes up and says, like, I really want to make a poster about being racist. And I just think that the alt-right really knew how to play on this like weird new form of nihilism that people are feeling.